different types of problems. The next points that we'll look at is GB21 and GB20. They're very important points for headaches, neck, shoulder problems. We can see these points on Dottie, that the reason that they're so important is that when I produce the healing response here, that it comes all the way through the neck here. Okay, so, and goes up in here to the head. So neck, shoulder problems, we're producing a healing response all the way down through here, up into the head. The same with this point right here. Now this point will also be used for eye problems, because you can see how it comes over into here. And I think it's one of the points also for asthma. Okay, because you see how the point comes down in here? This comes into the sinuses. So this is a very critical point. Now, the way you find it is you come right up at the base of the skull. See how this is the skull? And you're about an inch to an inch and a half in a groove right in through here. And you put pressure. Now you can do it with your fingers, but what you'll find, you get about 5 times as much pressure with this tool like that. And the pressure is what produces the healing response. Because the body will be very sore if you have headaches or sinuses, a number of different problems. Now you just put the pressure there. You don't need to massage it or move it around. The pressure will produce the pain. The pain is what activates the healing response. And the body will try to fix all along that line. The way that we find gallbladder 21 is that it's right on the top of the shoulders. And it's about 1.5 inches from the side of the neck. Now, you can use the tool, and the way you get to that hard-to-reach area is that you put the tool in your hand like this, and you come around on the opposite shoulder, and we go to the top of the shoulder, about 1.5 inches over, and you'll find a very sore spot there. And then you just hold it, produce pressure. Now the way that I usually do this is when I'm working on this point, I will work on another point, and you'll find ways that you can work on several points at a time. So one of the points is right here. Okay. And you'll learn by working with the 2 tools that you can produce the healing response in 2 parts of the body and get double whammy. And I think that's one of the reasons that it also works so well. If I have a shoulder problem, I'll work on my ear, on the spot that relates to my shoulder. I'll work on my hand on a spot that relates to my shoulder, on my foot, and I'll work on these other points. So by working with all 4 systems, you produce the healing response from 4 different directions. And I think that's why people are getting much better results. I have a number of people that report to me that they're getting better results with this than they are with acupuncture. But I can't prove that yet. But I'm excited about it naturally. Just the same as when the lady said to me, gee, I've had a headache for 3 weeks. In the study that I reported to earlier, I had 387 people with headaches. And we had 65% of them that their headache was gone within 3 minutes. I'm excited about that kind of results. So these are some of those points. And if you're working for headaches, we'll also have a book that specifically identifies not only some of the 4 most important points, but it will deal with all the different aspects of headaches. It's called No More Headaches. I have that specifically. The other point that I said I was working with here was the large intestine. And it's LI11. And it's right at the crease in the arm. When you bring your arm in like this and crease it, you'll find the crease right here. So you put the tool right on the crease and then open the arm up some and bring it down towards that muscle in there. And you'll find a spot there that's sore. I find it, huh? Okay. You will know when you found it. I can give you the general area. And then you hunt around until you find it. You don't need to move around. Once you find it, you just hold it there. And it's described in the book for if you have a lot of time, you can hold it for longer. If you just have a little bit of time, you can do it 30 seconds and you'll produce a healing response. And I do this a lot of times when I'll have a bunch of them to work with, or I'll go do 15 seconds on different points, and I'll work on all the points on longevity, which are in your book, or all the points for headaches and back problems. All right. This point here is probably one of the most important. It's called the Hoku, or the large intestine 4. Now the way you find it is you bring your hand together and you find that little mound. See the little mound that's formed right here? Okay? And at the peak of that mound, that represents the middle of this bone. And you put the tool into that, right into the bone, and you'll find a sore spot there. Especially for asthma. Be very sore. And this point relates to, it comes up here, comes into the body in here, and goes back into the lower brain. Now, it relates to eyes, to allergies, to ears, everything up in the neck and the head. It's one of the most important points for pain. One of the reasons that we think it's so important is that when the thumb, the way we use it, is very important for our development. And it shows up as a lot of brain that's a reflection of this coordination here. So when we're putting pressure on there, we're stimulating a whole bunch of the brain that then produces the healing response in all different parts of the body. So that becomes a very critical point. It's fascinating the way this works. All right, now this may seem complicated to find some of these. One of the things that I've done is to put this all on a computer, so that if you tell me that you have back pain, that you can go into the computer and you can get a printout that will describe how to find each one of those points. Now, this information is available right now through the company, but we're working at setting it up so it's on internet and available anywhere in the country or in the world. We have people right now that we've provided information on different symptoms and problems in Brazil, Alaska, Switzerland, all over the world. As we produce this information so that people anywhere in the world through the internet can have the pressure points that they can produce a healing response for over 2,000 different symptoms, we think it will transform the way that we approach healthcare.